I'm sure a lot of you have watched Maternal Instincts on Netflix. I have been following the Taylor Morton Parker case since it happened back in October of 2020. I even did a video all about Taylor Parker. However, Netflix has left out a lot of information. Very interesting facts about Taylor Parker have been left out. And I'm here to tell you all about Taylor Morton Parker. Of course, we all know that she faked a pregnancy for 10 months. Of course, we all know that she lied about being an heir to oil and gas money. She told several extravagant stories. Now, I'm here to tell you all what Netflix left out. Let's take a deep dive into this case right now. Wednesday, my Cajun cuties. Yes, it's me, Anne Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carrico, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. I hope after this video that you'd like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. And as always, thank you all for joining me on this Wicked Wednesday evening as we discuss another true crime case. How are y'all doing on this Wicked Wednesday evening? Thank y'all once again for joining me tonight. I hope y'all are all having a great evening and a great week so far, and that y'all are all ready for the weekend. Now, I'm sure y'all have watched Maternal Instinct on Netflix, and if you haven't, I would highly suggest you watch a documentary. It covers a lot about Taylor Morton Parker. I've been following this case since October of 2020. I know all about this case. I took a deep dive into the case over the weekend, and I found out a lot of several interesting facts about Taylor that Netflix left out. Now, if y'all haven't watched it, maybe y'all want to go watch it first and then watch my video, or y'all can, vice versa, whatever y'all want to do. But y'all are going to want to watch both Netflix and my video, because the things I learned about Taylor Morton Parker, it's going to be a very bumpy ride because I was shocked. I shocked my own self. But I'm going to give you all the knowledge about this case. I'm going to give you a little background about this case. Taylor Morton Parker met her boyfriend, Wade Griffith, back in 2019. Just a couple of months after meeting Wade, she tells Wade that she is pregnant. However, Wade does not realize that Taylor had a hysterectomy a couple of years back. So he believes that she is pregnant. She is faking everything. She tells Wade, I'm an heir to oil and gas. And then she says, I'm an heir to some kind of syrup. She, made up these lies and had a gender reveal party. She wore a fake belly. She made pregnancy announcements. I mean, it was just all these extravagant lies just to keep Wade. Wade had no idea she was doing any of this, but Taylor really wanted a baby bad, and she wanted a baby with Wade Griffith. After 9-10 months, Taylor said to herself, okay, I've been faking that I'm pregnant for all these months. I have to produce a baby now. What am I going to do? What does this evil monster do? She goes to one of her friends' home. She takes the life of Reagan Simmons Hancock, who's only 21 years old. She takes her life, and then she cuts out Reagan's beautiful baby girl. She cuts her out of Reagan's stomach while Reagan is still alive. How evil can you be? So let's take an even deeper dive into the Taylor Morton Parker case, and let me tell you all about what Taylor Morton Parker did and what she was capable of. Taylor Renee Parker was born December 8, 1992 in Texas to her parents, Shauna and Mark Morton. When Taylor was very little, her parents were divorced. And Taylor's brother Zachary said that he and his sister Taylor were often neglected by their father as he was too busy chasing women and drugs. And Zachary believes that Taylor inherited this behavior later in life because he says that Taylor neglected her two children and that she always focused on herself, not her children. So Zachary thinks that she inherited this behavior from their father. It was also said that Taylor was very overweight as a child and was very insecure about her weight. Now, all of us are insecure about something about ourselves. I know I am. I know I'm insecure about things. I'm sure a lot of you are insecure about things. And Taylor was insecure about her weight. So it was said that Taylor would make up these extravagant stories to impress her friends to try to fit in. And I'm going to tell you about some of these stories. And some of these stories are wild. When Taylor was around 8 years old, she started telling all of these stories, making up all of these lies. She would tell her friends that she had cancer. She was faking cancer. She would also tell her friends that she and her boyfriend would do things in the shower together. Now, why is that even being brought up between 8-year-olds? What they would do in the shower with their boyfriends? Who knows? That's just weird to me. It was also said that Taylor would fake injuries. She would come to school with a broken leg one day. She would come to school with a broken arm. She was always in the hospital, just always faking all of these diseases, illnesses, and injuries. It was also said that Taylor would tell everyone, oh, I have this boyfriend, I have that boyfriend. He's picking me up after school. And her friends would want to see, like, oh my God, let's see a picture. She would never have a picture. And they would see, like, let me see text messages. They wanted some kind of proof that Taylor had a boyfriend, and she never had proof. Then in high school, Taylor started faking that she was pregnant. She would tell everyone that she was pregnant, then all of a sudden she would have a miscarriage. So she had this reputation of constantly lying about being pregnant just to fit in. And that's sad and heartbreaking that she felt that she had to tell all of these lies just to fit in with other people. However, when Taylor was only 17 years old, she was pregnant for real. She got pregnant, she had a beautiful baby girl, and this was her first child when she was 17. Now, fast forward a little bit. Taylor gets married to her first husband. His name is Tommy, and they have a son together. And Taylor is being rushed to the hospital with a ectopic pregnancy. She goes into surgery, and this is when a hysterectomy is performed on Taylor. She has to have this hysterectomy. And it was said that her mother or her husband made the decision at the time while Taylor was under sedation. Now, I don't know if that's true. That was said, but supposedly while Taylor was under, her mother or her husband made the decisions, gave the okay to the doctors for Taylor to have a hysterectomy. So is that true? Who knows? But that's the word. Isn't it sad though? Taylor was only 21 years old at the time, and she had to have a hysterectomy. So she knows that she has no uterus and that she is no longer able to have children. She is never going to have children again, and she's only 21. So that is very sad, in my personal opinion, that she was told at such a young age that any more children in her future wasn't possible. In 2017, Taylor divorces Tommy, and in 2018, she marries her second husband, Hunter Parker. And Hunter was always wondering why Taylor couldn't get pregnant. She would make up all of these lies. She said she had this health problem, that health problem. She would fake seizures. She was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just can't get pregnant. She even told people that she had found a surrogate mother to have their children. However, she said she lied and said that Hunter was having an affair with the surrogate, so that all fell through. Really? Really? You're going to make up that lie? You're going to throw your husband under the bus? I mean, it's just crazy to me. Hunter testified in court that Taylor told him, can you please get a loan so we can get a surrogate? And don't worry, my grandmother, the one with all the money, she's going to pay for it all, knowing there's no money. She would also offer her friends $100,000 if they could be the surrogate, knowing she didn't have any money. Taylor just constantly made up lies about everything. She was also known to start up several Facebook accounts. And that's a red flag right there. And y'all all see it. We all have seen that in the past. When we have these friends and you type in their name and there's like 4 or 5 accounts that come up, you don't know which one to click. It's weird. Why are you making up all these Facebook accounts? Anyway, As we all know, back in 2019, Taylor Parker meets Wade Griffin, and she is just head over heels in love with Wade, y'all. Head over heels. So in love that she tells him that she's pregnant after only months of them dating. And several people made the comment that Taylor was all in love with Wade. However, Wade told several people that he did in fact like Taylor, but he didn't love Taylor. Everyone kept telling Wade she is not pregnant, but Wade didn't believe anyone. Wade wanted to believe she was pregnant. This was going to be his first child, his baby girl. He was naming her Clancy Gale. And he even started getting text messages from Taylor's ex-husband, who knew who was there when she had a hysterectomy. And these are what the text messages said. In September of 2020, just weeks before Taylor Parker claimed due date, her ex-husband Tommy and the father of her son became so concerned that he reached out to Wade Griffin from an anonymous number. He didn't want Taylor to know it was him. The first text arrived on September 11th and says, "It's funny how Taylor is pregnant, but every hospital within 60-mile radius is watching for her because they're scared she's going to come in and steal a baby because there is no possible way she's pregnant, and they all know that because they got all the hospital records." 5 days later, another message followed. He says, "I'm reaching out to you because I feel like it's the thing to do. In 2015, Taylor had a hysterectomy. She isn't pregnant. She can't get pregnant. She's a con artist and lying to keep you around. I'm sure you haven't been to one doctor's appointment with her for whatever reason. I don't do drama at all. But because I know for a fact she isn't pregnant and is running out of time, I had to reach out. Please be careful. She has lied about so much for so long. She has herself in so deep she can't get out. I'm concerned how far she might go with this. All hospitals are on high alert because she may go to the extent of stealing a child." He warned Wade that the sonogram photos to Taylor had been posted online were fake. According to testimony, one image was allegedly from Taylor's first pregnancy with her daughter, with identifying information cropped out. But instead of investigating further, Wade showed the messages to Taylor. Together, they dismissed them as more harassment from Taylor's mother. As we all know, Taylor was always telling Wade how she hated her mother hated her, and that her mother had surveillance on them, and that her mother was trying to break she and Wade up. I mean, she had all of these stories. But I don't know about you, but if I was Taylor or Wade, I would have taken a pregnancy test in front of Wade to clear all of this up. If I would have been Wade, I would have been like, look, all of these people are saying things. Why don't we just prove everybody wrong? And we just take a test and I look at it and I confirm that you were pregnant. I don't know, something, but they just dismissed everything, which is so odd to me. They just like, oh well. No, Wade should have probably like thought to himself, something's not right. My mom's telling me that she's not pregnant. Her ex-husband's telling me she's not pregnant, and we're just dismissing everything. But he did. Now, things got even more strange when Taylor decided to make a sonogram appointment in Texas. She showed up, and when she arrived, she was very emotional. She was crying. She was falling apart, and the staff was like, "Oh my God, like what's wrong? Is everything okay?" And she's like, "No. My husband died in the military, and my mother canceled on me. So this isn't a good day." And they were like, "Oh my gosh." They felt terrible. Her husband had just passed away. Her mother wasn't there. They offered her a sonogram. They're like, "Look, you haven't, this is terrible. This is a bad day. Let's bring you back and you can have a look at your baby." Taylor refused and said no. She said, "No, I'm going to reschedule this appointment. I'm leaving." She leaves. Later on that day, staff notices that she's outside sitting on a bench, watching pregnant women go by and writing down their license plate numbers. So at this point, Taylor is stalking pregnant women. Why? Why does she want to stalk these pregnant women? It's because she knows she's going to need a baby anytime now. She's going to need a baby. Her due date is weeks away. She told everybody she's pregnant due on September 28th. She told some people she was due on September 22nd. No one believed Taylor, so she knew she was going to have to produce a baby. It was also said that Taylor was stalking maternity stores, maternity clinics, and even attended a teen pregnancy support group. She was determined to steal a baby. She knew she had to produce a baby, so she started stalking all pregnant women. She wanted to have a baby. My thing is, though, did she think she was just going to bring a baby home? Surprise, I had a baby today. No, people are going to think that's even more weird. Everyone's going to be like, hey, was a baby stolen? Was a baby stolen? This woman just walked in the house and said she had a baby. What was she going to do? But y'all know how evil people are. They expect everyone to believe their lies. They expect it. Look at the Chris Watts case. He told everybody that Shanann just left the house, that his wife and his two little girls just left the house. Then when his story started to unravel, he took a step back like, wait. I'm supposed to be believable. I didn't know my story was going to derail like this. Y'all supposed to believe me. Oh, no. Evil people think everyone is going to believe them. But in reality, everything unravels at some point. Taylor also started posting about pregnancy complications. She would put stuff on social media like, oh, I have a blood clot in my lung and the doctor has to put me on medication and the medication is affecting baby Clancy, but it's okay, the baby's okay. She even had a maternity shoot and everybody was like, look at that belly. Look at that belly. Well, we learned in Netflix documentary that she had a pregnancy suit. Also, I'm just going to tell all of you right now, if you go and you eat at a restaurant, let's say you eat a seafood boil or whatever, us ladies can push out our bellies and look 3-4 months pregnant. Trust me, I know. Yes, we can just grow a belly like that if we eat all kind of food. So people can fake a pregnancy. People do it all the time. I don't understand it. I don't know why somebody would do that, because as someone like me who has had several miscarriages in the past, that is very hard. That is a very hard thing to go through. So why would someone want to fake a pregnancy or fake a miscarriage? And get this wasn't Taylor's first fake pregnancy with Wade. Oh no, she told Wade before this fake pregnancy that she was pregnant. However, she lost the baby due to farming equipment hitting her in the belly. I guess she didn't have all her ducks lined in a row. I guess she wasn't thinking like ahead. What am I going to say? What am I going to do? She didn't know what to do. So she said, I had a miscarriage due to farming equipment. It's just crazy. This girl lied about everything. Another thing, as we all saw in the Netflix documentary, she said she was the heir to all this oil and gas when none of it was true. One thing she did that just is crazy to me, she gave Wade an $8 million check and told Wade to go to the bank and cash it for her. Wade goes to the bank to cash this check, and the teller looks at the check and it's like, for sums this large, we usually wire the money. Wade didn't know better. He never had $8 million. He saw this check and his eyes just lit up. He didn't know that Taylor was lying about everything. He didn't know the bank wasn't going to give him that kind of money. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Now Taylor realizes she's been pregnant for 10 months and has to produce a baby. She met Reagan Simmons Hancock on social media, and Taylor had a photography business. And Reagan reached out. She said, hey, someone recommended you. Do you think you could take our engagement pictures, our wedding pictures? Taylor said, sure, absolutely. So Reagan and Taylor were friends. They didn't hang out every day. However, they were friends. And They were both pregnant with baby girls. They were both due around the same time. So they would talk on social media like, oh girl, look at your belly's growing. Look at this, look at that. Did you get this baby swing or that baby bed? They just had a lot in common as they were both having baby girls and both due at the same time. So Taylor thought to herself, this is what I need to do. This is whose baby I need to steal. We're due around the same time, only like 4 weeks different. So I can go to her and take her baby. Taylor even went to Reagan's house the day before the murder occurred. Brought her a Starbucks, brought her a baby gift. It was all planned. Taylor really friended this girl in order to take her baby. On the morning of October 9th, 2020, Taylor drove to Reagan's home in New Boston, Texas, where both Reagan and her 3-year-old daughter were present at the time of Taylor's arrival. At the house, Taylor viciously attacked Reagan despite her pregnancy, using a knife to slash and stab her multiple times and also assaulted her. Forensic evidence indicated that the attack took place at several locations throughout the house, suggesting that Reagan moved around the residence while being attacked and bled in multiple areas before she collapsed on the floor. The attack ultimately resulted in the death of 21-year-old Reagan Simmons Hancock, and Taylor performed a crude C-section to cut open the victim's abdomen and remove the fetus before fleeing the home. Reagan's 3-year-old daughter was not physically harmed during the attack. After murdering Reagan and stealing her baby, Taylor continued to drive to Oklahoma, and while she was in DeKalb, Texas, Taylor was stopped by an officer who noticed she was driving erratically. Taylor lied to the officer that she had just given birth while on the road and the baby was not breathing. Taylor was therefore taken to a hospital in Oklahoma where the baby girl, later named Braxton Sage, was pronounced deceased. Reagan's body was discovered very shortly after her murder, casting doubt upon Taylor's story. Taylor aroused further suspicion among the hospital authorities when she refused to undergo any checkups from the doctors. Furthermore, test results later confirmed that the baby was not Taylor's biological child. Following this revelation, Taylor was arrested as a suspect behind the murder of Reagan. Autopsy reports later showed that Reagan Hancock sustained 113 sharp force injuries, 15 stab wounds, and 98 incision wounds, and 39 blunt force injuries. The medical examiner testified that the 2 of the knife wounds perforated Reagan's jugular vein, and some were deep enough to reach the bone, and the blunt force injuries likely inflicted with a hammer resulted in both a broken nose and 5 skull fractures. They also concluded that the cause of death was homicide from traumatic exertion from the uterus with both sharp and blunt force injuries. They also determined that the baby died to traumatic exertion from the mother's uterus, and further ruled the baby's death was a homicide. They also stated that there were bruises on the baby's scalp and on the umbilical cord, meaning that some of the blows inflicted on Reagan's abdomen also landed on the baby, and that trauma to the umbilical cord was possibly due to it being pulled or squeezed during extraction. When I read the autopsy report, I was speechless. I was shocked. I mean, when I saw the pictures, it looks like the attack started in the garage and then went to the kitchen and went to the living room. It was all throughout the house. And it was said that one of the blows had a circle on Reagan's body, which means that Taylor had struck her with this mason jar. It floored me. I was completely shocked when I read everything. When I just realized what happened to Reagan. And do you know how terrified and scared her 3-year-old daughter was? In that back room, it was also said that Reagan's daughter came out during the attack, and that Reagan or Taylor, I don't know who, told the little girl to get back into the room. So I don't know if that's true, but if that happened, how traumatic is that? Oh my gosh, what an evil monster Taylor Parker is. What an evil woman she is to take this baby. And another thing I want to mention, as we all know, the mother has to stay alive in order for the child to be born alive. So now I'm wondering if Taylor performed this crazy C-section on Reagan while Reagan was still alive. I mean, the pain she must have been going through this entire time, knowing that someone was taking her baby, someone that she thought was her friend, just hours before, the night before. Reagan's husband said Taylor was at the house. They were hanging out. She brought a Starbucks, brought her a baby gift, and just hours later, you're going to murder this beautiful mother-to-be while her 3-year-old's in the house? Y'all, evil has no face. Evil has no face. You look at Taylor and you wouldn't think she was this evil monster. We expect every killer to look like Charles Manson or somebody. No, evil has no standards, has no face, has no look. Evil is evil. And Taylor Martin Parker has been sentenced to death. She awaits her death while she sits on death row in Texas. My thoughts and prayers are with Reagan Simmons Hancock's family. My heart goes out to all of you, especially Reagan's husband, especially her daughter. Reagan's husband not only lost his wife that day, but lost his unborn child. And I couldn't imagine that. So my thoughts and my prayers go out to all of you. And I hope that y'all remember all the precious, wonderful memories y'all all had with Reagan, and that her beautiful little girl shines through her. I hope Reagan comes out through her daughter every day, and y'all remember how happy she was having that sweet little girl. So y'all remember all the good times y'all had with Reagan. And as always, y'all are in my thoughts and prayers. My final thought, I always give y'all my final thought. And my final thought is, all women, please be aware of your surroundings. Always know what's going on. I had one of my friends that told me that she would go to Target or Walmart or any store, a grocery store, wearing like a big shirt because she didn't want anyone to know that she was pregnant. She was afraid to embrace her pregnancy because it is very common for women to be murdered in order to steal their child, or for women to stalk them and to steal their child. Who knows? And that's a sad thing. All women want to embrace their pregnancy. They want to show people, oh, look at my belly. I'm growing a human. This is my superpower. I'm glowing. I feel great. I feel wonderful. But some people just don't want to do that because they are so afraid that something's going to happen to them. Another thing I want y'all to all know, I know it's cute and fun to have the stork in the yard, the bird, the big, huge wooden bird, and it says your baby's name and the time it came and how much the baby weighed, and it's a girl. Don't put none of that stuff outside your door. Don't. Because when you put stuff like that outside, someone knows there is a newborn baby in that house and they could steal your baby. So don't ever do that. Don't. Just take my advice. I know it looks cute. Just don't ever do that because someone could take your baby. So always be aware of that. Again, my thoughts and prayers are with Reagan's family. I hope y'all remember all the great memories y'all had with Reagan. And as always, stay safe. Always be aware of your surroundings, and always know that I'm here for each and every one of you. And don't forget to watch Maternal Instincts on Netflix. It is a great documentary. It is very sad. It is very tragic, but it does bring awareness to all women to always make sure to stay safe and always be aware of your surroundings. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. And as always, thank you all for the love and support. And for you, I am truly grateful. I will see y'all all next week with more Cajun Crime Queen videos. And as always, I love each and every one of you. You have an amazing night, and I will see y'all later. Bye.